Welcome to this short flow practice. My name is Joanna, faculty member here at Your Yoga Flow Studio. We are an online yoga teacher training school, and we have a library of hundreds of yoga classes for you to enjoy. If you click the link below, you'll be able to access these for a week of free classes. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This class today will be a hip-focused 20-minute flow practice. So you will need to bring 2 blocks and a chip foam block to your mat. If you don't have access to those yoga props, you can makeshift with cushions and books, whatever you have at home or wherever you are practicing from today. And I will meet you at the top edge of your mat. Once you've made your way to the top edge of the mat, inhale, sweep both arms up to the sky, and then exhale, forward fold over both of your legs. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Once you reach the base here, shuffle your feet wide, turn your toes out slightly, and then let your head and upper body dangle over your legs. Spread your 10 toes into the floor. Let your knees soften. Draw your navel towards your spine. And maybe rest your hands around opposite elbows. You could also put your hands to blocks on the floor. Or if you get any dizziness or have high blood pressure or vertigo, maybe place your forearms to your thighs and have your head on the same height as your heart. So you're looking to the front of your yoga mat. You're breathing into the back lines of your body, starting to wake up some space along the spine, into the back of the pelvis, and down the backs of your 2 legs. This is going to be a really great practice for anyone who sits a lot for their work and suffers from tightness or congestion in the lower back or the hips. If you have your hands wrapped around opposite elbows, maybe you sway a little bit side to side. Maybe you let the head dangle. Maybe you take a nice deep breath in and a clearing breath out. Deep breath in, clearing breath out. One more time, breath in, breath out. Wherever you are, you're keeping your knees nice and soft. There's a lovely bend through the legs. This is our first forward fold, so go gently with yourself, starting to stimulate the kidneys and the adrenal glands, breathing all the way along the back of your body. Rest your fingertips back to the floor and shuffle your feet back to hip distance. Take a halfway lift and exhale to fold, stepping your right foot to the back of your mat and lowering your right knee to the mat or to your chip foam block if you have any knee sensitivities. Place your blocks either side of your left foot at their highest height. Now draw your entire pelvis forwards and bring your chest up, lift your chin up. Relax the shoulders down and keep your fingers light on your blocks. Draw in through your inner leg lines so your hips are holding you in this position. It's not the weight in your hands and shoulders. Spread your 10 toes into the floor. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, take your pelvis back and start to lengthen your left leg, peeling your left toes up and looking towards your left shin. Inhale, lower your left foot, bring your pelvis forwards, lift your chin and chest up. And again, exhale, take the hips back, lengthen the left leg, peel the left toes up. And one more cycle, lower the left foot, bend the left knee, ripple it from your pelvis to the top of your head. Last exhale, take the hips back, Lift the left toes up. Hug the left hip back and down. So you're hugging through your inner legs again. Now you can either stay here, reaching your fingertips forwards on your blocks, or play with walking your blocks over to the long side of your mat, turning your chest to the left and looking at the gap between your two blocks, between your two hands. Notice how that changes the shift of sensation from the back of your leg down the side of your leg. Hug through the inner thighs. Peel the left toes up, press the left heel away. Take 2 more breaths. Use your inhale breath to walk your hands back to center. Lower that left foot to the mat. Lift your right knee off the floor. And maybe try placing your hands onto your hips as you lift your chest. Maybe try lifting your arms to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, hands to the back of your head. See if you can lean your head into your hands and look up to the sky. As you exhale, place your hands to the mat, either side of your left foot, and step back to a downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale, come forwards to a plank pose with your knees up or down on the mat. Bend at your elbows as you exhale and come all the way to the floor in one piece. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back, lift your chin and chest for baby cobra. Exhale, lower your chest, tuck your toes, press back to your downward facing dog or a tabletop or a child's pose. If you're in tabletop or downward facing dog, let your hips sway right to left. Relax your head between your arms. If you're in down dog, press each heel towards the mat. And everybody take a deep breath in and a clearing breath out. Now have a look at your hands. Walk your hands closer together. If you're in child's pose, come to a tabletop or downward facing dog. If you're in down dog, walk your feet as wide as your mat. Everybody bend your knees and look towards your hands. I want you to walk, step, or jump your 2 feet either side of your 2 hands. Whoop, a little bunny hop. And then we're sitting in Malasana, yogi squat. You can place a block under your seat so you have something to sit on. You can put your hands to your heart and place your forearms or upper arms to your inner thighs. You could also do this without the block, hovering your pelvis just off the floor, nice and tall through your spine, rolling to the outer sides of your 2 feet so you're lifting the arches of your feet up. The final option here is forearms to thighs, pelvis a little bit higher, looking to the front of your mat. Take 2 more breaths. Now walk your fingertips onto the floor in front of you and extend your legs to straight. Shuffle your feet back into hip distance. Take a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and step your left foot to the back of your mat, returning your chip bone block under your left knee if you'd like, and walking your 2 big foam blocks either side of your right foot at their highest height. Draw your pelvis forwards, lift up tall through the top of your head, and keep your fingers light on your blocks. Engage through your inner thighs, draw your tailbone slightly forwards and your lower ribs in. Keep the shoulders and jaw relaxed. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, take your pelvis back, peel your right toes off the floor and lean forwards towards your right shin. Again, lower your right foot, bend your right knee. Inhale, lift your spine tall. Exhale, take the hips back, peel the right toes off the floor. One more time, bend that right knee, bring the pelvis forwards, ripple up the spine to the top of the head. Last exhale, take your hips back, peel those right toes up, and lean into that hamstring stretch. Stay like this, or take your blocks for a walk over to the right side of your mat. Turn your chest to the right, but keep your hips square facing forwards. Look to the outside of your right thigh as you squeeze your inner right thigh towards the left inner thigh. Peel the right toes up a bit more and say hello to your IT band. 2 more breaths. Walk your hands and blocks either side of your right foot. Lower the right foot down. Bend the right knee. Tuck your left toes and lift the left knee off the floor and explore hands to hips or perhaps arms to the sky. Maybe plant your hands to the back of the head and lean the head into the hands, opening up the chest and heart, breathing into the front of your torso. And then exhale, lower your hands to the mat, either side of your right foot, to step back to a downward facing dog, tabletop, or child's pose. From here, inhale to plank if you wish, rolling forwards from the tailbone to the top of your head. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, press the pubic bone down, roll your shoulders back as you lift your chest, baby cobra. Exhale, lower your chest, tuck your toes, press back to down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. Take 3 lovely long breaths. Maybe rock your hips, maybe paddle your heels, maybe shake your head. We have one more opportunity to play in getting to Malasana, yogi squat. Have a look at your hands from wherever you are. Walk your hands together so your thumbs are connected. If you're in down dog, walk your feet as wide as the mat. If you're in child's pose, come to your knees. Everybody look at the hands and bend the knees. Take your hips back. Walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Feet landing either side of your 2 hands. Sink into your expression of Malasana, yogi squat. Roll the shoulders down, lift the chest up, press into the pinky toes and lift the arches of the feet. Breathe down into the pelvis. 2 more breaths. And then place your hands onto the mat and extend the hips towards the sky. Shuffle your feet back to parallel, hip distance apart. Take a halfway lift and exhale to fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat once again, lowering the right knee to the earth or onto your chip bone block. This time we want to shuffle our left foot as wide as the mat and either have the left toes facing forwards or turn the left toes onto the floor so you have a little more external rotation in your hips. And this is really preferable depending on the makeup of your pelvis. Some people are a little more parallel, some people are a little more turned out. You can be on fingertips here, or you can put those blocks at any height underneath your hands again. Start rocking the pelvis forwards and back a couple of times in this slightly different position for the pelvis and for your front leg. When you are ready, keep the pelvis drawing forwards and down towards your mat. You can stay upright, nice and tall, stretching the front of your torso and down your right hip flexor. Or you might come a little bit lower to your mat. Maybe lower your blocks a height for your forearms. Maybe lower your forearms all the way down to the mat. You might use one block for your forehead to release any strain or tension from your neck. A few extra options to explore depending on how this deeper variation of dragon or lizard pose feels in your body. Option to peel your left toes off the floor and roll to the outer edge of your left foot. If that is not comfortable on your knee or ankle, and especially on your hip, please put the left foot back on the floor. The next option to make it a little more spicy is to tuck your right toes and lift your right knee away from the floor so you have a really long line from your right heel to your right hip. You're drawing your right kneecap towards your right thigh. You're drawing your tailbone towards your belly button, and you're lifting your chest away from the floor so you're not collapsing into your shoulders. The very last option is to lower your right knee and to keep your right hand or right forearm where it is. Take your left arm into the sky and open and turn your chest to the left. So you start to create a little more rotation through the back. And there's the option to reach your left hand to the back of your yoga mat, exploring the range in your shoulders and chest. And the very, very, very last piece is to bend your right knee and see if your right foot and your left hand can find one another. And if the two find one another, hook the hand around the top of the foot and draw that right heel towards your glute. You could also hold onto your heel or hold onto the back of your pant or trouser leg. Take 3 more breaths. Look down at your yoga mat in front of you. Lower your right foot. Lower your 2 hands onto the mat, lifting your chest. Shuffle your left foot in between the hands. Step yourself back to a downward facing dog and exhale your breath. Rock through your hips. There may be a little unevenness between the sides in this moment. Take an inhale and roll forwards to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. You can hover from the mat this time if you prefer. Inhale, come to up dog or back to baby cobra. Exhale, back to down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Meeting in down dog or tabletop, inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend the left knee, gently turn and open the hips to the left. Hug your right heel towards the mat if you are in a 3-legged dog. Now keep your hips nice and open, but keep your shoulders facing down to the floor. Now hug your left knee into your chest, step the left foot forwards. Take a high lunge, float your arms to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, land your hands to the floor and step forwards with your right foot. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower your left knee onto your chip foam block or directly to the floor. Find your 2 blocks. Place them on any height that feels appropriate for your body, or keep your fingertips on the floor. You're going to shuffle this right foot as wide as your mat and bring both hands inside the right foot. Maybe turn the right toes onto the floor, depending again on the makeup of your hips and what feels most comfortable and gives you the best opening. Bring your pelvis forwards and back a couple of times, just to explore your range, to notice sensation in your hips. And when your pelvis is drawing forwards and down, stay here. You might enjoy a lift through your chest and a couple breaths into the front of your torso. And as time goes by, you might choose to walk yourself a little further down to the floor, maybe onto your blocks, maybe down to the mat with a forehead on the block. Remember those little pieces to make it a bit spicier. You can lift your right toes off the floor and roll to the outside edge of your right foot. So this becomes a winged dragon. You could also tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off the floor and find that lovely long line from left heel to left hip. And then we have our very final piece, which is to lower this left knee back to the floor. Turn your chest to the right and open your right arm to the sky, leaving your left hand or forearm where it is. You might reach your right arm towards the back of the room if available. And then you might bend your left knee and see if right hand and left foot can find one another. If they meet, keep drawing heel towards glute till you feel enough sensation in the front of your quadricep and into your left hip flexor. And keep spiraling your chest to the right, maybe looking towards the sky. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are. Have a look down at your yoga mat. Walk your hands onto the mat, lowering that left foot. Shuffle your right foot between your 2 hands. Take your blocks off the mat and step yourself back to a downward facing dog. Stay here or inhale to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knee lowering or hovering off the floor. Inhaling to up dog or baby cobra. Exhaling to down dog, tabletop or child's pose. Last time. From down dog or tabletop, inhale your right leg to the sky, bend your right knee, turn and open your hips to the right. Square your shoulders to the mat, lift the right knee a little more, lower the left heel a little more if you are in your 3-legged dog. Hug the right knee to the chest, step the right foot forwards. Find a high crescent lunge, engage through your inner legs. Lift your hands and chest towards the sky. Exhale, lower your hands to the mat and step forwards with your left foot to the front of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Shuffle your feet as wide as your mat one last time. Turn the toes out, bend the knees. One final malasana squat, just to notice any difference coming into this shape. Now the hips have had a little time to open. Take a deep breath in and a clearing breath out. To come out of this pose, you can choose to put your hands behind you, sit down on your pelvis, bring your legs in front of you. Or you can put your hands in front of you, lift your hips, walk your feet in, put one knee down at a time, and then come around to a seat. We'll all meet in a seat with our legs straight out in front of us, our arms straight out in front of us. Inhale your breath. Exhale, roll down to the mat using the engagement of your core, engaging your thighs. Slowly, slowly peel your way to the floor, one piece at a time, and then find your body resting on your mat. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. We'll finish by hugging the knees into the chest, imprinting your lower back to the floor, gently rocking across your lower back side to side, massaging the kidneys, massaging the tops of the glutes. Option to slide your arms inside your legs, hold the outer edges of your feet, and take full happy baby, similar to a standing malasana squat. You can rock side to side in your happy baby. Slowly bring your knees back into your chest. Slowly plant your feet onto the floor. Shuffle the feet as wide as the mat. And either keep your hands on your rib cage in a cactus or out in a T shape. As you sway your knees slowly down to the right, can you turn your head gently to the left? And as you slowly take your knees down to the left, can you turn your head gently to the right? Do that again, right side and left side. Come back to center and then plant yourself slowly into Shavasana, lengthening your legs down the mat, lengthening your arms down by your sides, palms facing up, toes rolling out. Nuzzle your hips into the floor a little more and nuzzle your shoulders underneath you. Take a deep breath in and a clearing breath out as you let your body soften further into your mat. Release all effort from this hip practice and let yourself gently drift in a few moments of rest and digest. I thank you so much for spending the time with me and your lovely hips today. I hope this practice was releasing, invigorating, and set you up for whatever is next. I will leave you here in Shavasana. Please take as long as you need. Thank you so much. Namaste.